What do I like about being black and queer? I love the fact that I can carve my own path because the path has barely been carved out for us already. They tell us we can't do this, they tell us we can't do that, but guess what? We're gonna be doing this and that because I'm black and queer and proud and here. This is what it is. I show up as I want to show up, I claim my space, I feel all the love around me. So that's what I love about being black and queer.
My vulnerability, my heart, my love, my joy, the history of my community, the love of my community. It just means everything to me. It's who I am. It's all of me. I think I can't love all of me if I didn't love everything about being black and queer.
Everything. I think that there's such a beautiful intersection between those two identities. Being black and queer and also a woman. I think that those are three identities that are obviously traditionally marginalized and not fully represented. And I think that you have to have, through experiences of like being at the intersection of those identities in spaces that are largely not made for you or made for you to feel comfortable, you have to learn and build up a lot of strength and courage and dedication to who you are and to becoming who you are and to showing up as who you are and being that authentically. Diamonds are made from pressure. The community is so dynamic and talented and beautiful. It's really special to be a part of. It's a different kind of love to be able to find that community. Being able to experience that and take that into yourself and make that a part of yourself is really a privilege at the end of the day.
I think being black and queer is a privilege.
Oh my God, right now it's the joy I'm feeling in being surrounded by so many of us for the first time. Like there's 150 of us here feeling so present, so alive, so unapologetically us. I've never felt this much joy before. Just really positive about being me right now, and I think it's being surrounded by so many people that look like me, and yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of it.
For me, I really love everything about it, and mainly I think it's the expression, like the way that black queer people express themselves through clothes, through language, through experiences. To me, it's just unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I think that this creative community is like the perfect example of that.
Hell, I ain't got no choice but to like it. I never thought about that question. I love me. It's who I am. It's part of me. I wouldn't know how to be any other way, so I'm me. That's what I love about being black and queer, because it's 100% me and authentic.
I am proud to be the daughter of Sea Island Gullah ancestors, the daughter of black folks from South Carolina. I'm proud to still have joy during times of turmoil, during times of despair, remaining hopeful, still having joy, because joy is a form of protest. I'm happy to be a daughter of the diaspora, and in my blackness, I love showing up unapologetically. It's interesting how intersectionality works. To be a queer black person in 2023, live out loud, is something that I'm extremely proud of. I feel blessed, I feel honored. I know that I'm walking in the footsteps, the trails left for me by the Bessie Smiths, the Josephine Bakers, the Zora Neale Hurstons. I take it as a responsibility, also as a privilege. They kicked the door off the hinges when they walked in. So I want to do that same thing for those coming after me.
I like that I get to be funky without even having to think about it.
It's so organic and natural for me. I don't really think about, other than being in these kinds of spaces, the power of blackness and the power of queerness. But for me, it's just about authentic living. So it's naturally leaning into the essence of who you are. One of my identities is blackness, LGBTQ+. I'm human first, but those two identities are very beautiful in their own vacuums, if you will, but then succinctly very, very beautiful collectively, as we see here at this event. So that's a tough question, it's a big question, but I would say that it's really more so about living an authentic life that just so happens to be black and queer. It's about free expression, creativity, and just living, being exactly who you were called to be.
My favorite thing about being black and queer is intersectionality. I just love that there's no way that you can be defined, and you can always evolve, and you can always explore new avenues and new aspects of yourself, your mind, your intellect, your community, your spirit, every just part of humanity. So that's my favorite thing about being black and queer.
It's different, for one, and for two, it's alignment, it's divine, it's different. Because it's different, it allows you to bring more people in.
What I like about being black and queer is I can honestly just be unapologetically me. It definitely took a long time getting to that place, but if you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love somebody else? So I love being unapologetically Dwight Allen O'Neill.
What I love about being black and queer is that I've had a journey that's unlike some, but when I'm in spaces like this, I immediately feel a connection. There's so much brilliance and there's so much knowing of self. There's so much introspection and reflection that has really shaped a lot of who I am. It's not all that I am, but it shaped a lot of who I am. And I feel really grateful to be here, to be amongst this brilliance, to be amongst all of this love and to pour into one another. So being Black and queer, it's self-love, it's an act of joy, it's an act of freedom, and that's why I love being Black and queer.
I think what I like about being Black and queer, I'm just happens to be Black and queer. I'm just a regular person who have talents and passions in life, but I definitely take advantage of the opportunities to rebel, to go against what's the norm and what I've been raised to believe in. But my Black queer experience is just a rebellion against what's been just a negative force, against things that really has been created to diminish and kill people who look like me, who act like me, or who live the same life and experiences I have.
The duality, to be able to exist in multiple spaces, to be able to be ever adapting, ever evolving, the willingness to be resilient when everything says that you shouldn't be. I think that's probably my favorite thing about being Black and queer. We are not a monolith, but we are something beyond everyone's wildest dreams. I would say that.
Being Black and queer is truly a privilege because I'm not confined to typical norms, and because of that, I'm able to be more loud about my creativity as a visual artist and as a music manager. I don't have to put myself in a box. Being Black and queer is lit.
I love being able to just be and exist as my truest, most authentic self. I love being able to express who I am without apologies. I love being Black, blackity, black, and just the experience of creativity, joy, being able to love freely and be loved and get to choose the love that I will or will not accept. So I just love all those things, lots of pieces.
The community that we're able to create and the community that has been created for us, I think that what is exceptional about being Black and queer is that we can do anything and be anything, and that we are creating unique parameters of our own identity. I think that's really cool.
I love that you get to be yourself, be expressive as you want, be you at all costs.
Yeah, period.
Being Black and queer is like being at the origin of it all, of culture. We've been innovators from the beginning of time. We're still creating and innovating today because our existence doesn't get any shine. You kind of have to make it up for yourself. You have to decide, like, what is it like to exist in this world? What does it mean to be a person in my full Blackness, my full queerness in this world? And you have to, like, have radical imagination. And so I feel like that's why we are the culture creators, because we had to create ourselves and how we show up on this earth. And so our art is going to reflect that.
I like how fun we are. I like how unserious we can be. I like how we actually like hold each other down and check in to make sure, like, do you still have a job? Do you need help with rent? Do you want to go out later? Do you like need anything from me? Like, all day since I've been here, everyone's just like, how can I support you? How can I help you? I remember you were doing XYZ. Just like, it's just so personable and familiar and just like kind and loving. I haven't really been able to find outside of like Black spaces, and I'm really just happy that this exists. Black Queer Creative Summit has been really, really great so far.
Listen, honey, being Black and queer is such a divine therapeutic experience. We are not monolithic, baby. We are here, we're there, and we are everywhere. I love being Black and queer. Ah!
We're Black, we're queer, we're here, and we ain't go nowhere. So you better get used to it.
Period, baby.
What do I like about being Black and queer? Everything. And I think this is such a very powerful place that I am in my life, not just physical, but also mentally, because this is something that the world has been telling me is wrong with me, especially being born and raised in Nigeria, a country that is extremely homophobic, constantly being told that as queer people you're going to hell, and eventually moved to America, dealing with homophobia, racism, and also xenophobia of being an African person. It wasn't until I started working on myself and started to retake power of who I am that I came to realize that truly it is beautiful to be Black and queer and African. And this is why I do what I do, to try to elevate our voices, to let people know that we Black queer people, we are beautiful. We are beautiful the way God has made us, and there's nothing wrong with us. And anybody who tells you otherwise is a liar, and they're crazy as hell. So live your life unapologetically, because now it's all you got. Black, African, queer, and that's okay. Uche, peace and love.